Hello everybody, Gerone Wright here, and once again you're joining me on my Gerone Wright YouTube channel here on YouTube. In this video, I already had released these images on my Google Plus and on my Facebook channels. However, this is the first time that I'm doing a video on it. I may do a slide video as well to support or boost this here vocal video. All right, this location is Mexico. I think it's La Paz, Mexico. L-A-P-A-Z, La Paz, or La Paz, Mexico. And I don't know if this is the beach or if this image can be seen from the view of the beach, which is called Tecolote Beach. Tecolote Beach. That's T-E-C-O-L-O-T-E. Tecolote Beach. Okay? And this is Mexico. Again, this is a bizarre and unusual sea stacks. If you've been following my sea stacks video, you can see that I've been doing some extraordinary work with these sea stacks. If you haven't been seeing my sea stack videos, you need to get on board and actually check them out. These sea stacks represent, these ancient sea stacks represent a ancient grail, a sort of kind of like a holy grail. And it describes of how our ancestors evolved from out of the oceanic waters, these bodies of waters, and onto land. These sea stacks are pretty much carved monuments, and they are almost like shrines, which describe in graphic detail how through different variations of life forms of sea creatures' life, we evolved onto land, and it shows the bridge that actually was created. And this is what is extraordinary about my finds. This sea stack here, in particular, this is an image which is eroded. If you were to eroded rock, if you were to Google Mexico sea stacks, or let me see, approaching, you can Google approaching a sea stack, and the images that I'm going to show you next in order would actually will come up. So basically, all you have to do is Google approaching a sea stack. And the images that's going to follow this image is going to be really mind-blowing to you. But I'm going to take this image here because in this rock here, which is basically, you can see there's a lot of erosion kicking off here. But yet there's something extraordinary about the shapes and the symmetry of this rock that actually captivates your mind. For example, I'm going to take you here. This appears to me as the body of a man. This is his torso. He has on garb. Here's his shoulder coming across. His hands are folded. Let me use my arrow. His hands are folded right there at the point of my arrow. Okay. His right arm is coming in here, folding his crossed arm, and his left arm is here coming in. Here's his beard right here. There's his face, and he seems to be wearing some type of a turban around his head right here. His face is in here, and then at the top of his turban, right there, is the face of a woman. Up here. Where are we at? Let me make sure that I got you there. Okay. Can you see that? So this here seems like the wardrobe of a man. His arms, his hands folded. There's his bearded face. There's his beard. There's his face here, and he has a turban. And his turban is constructed. It creates the wrappings of a woman, and her face is here, almost as if she's mummified in his turban right there. So a man and a woman together being shown. If you were to come down here, there is the face of a lion. There's the eye, the left eye. This will be the hair, the mane of the lion. There's the lion's nose. Here's the lion's mouth, cheek, left cheek, and then there's the lion's mouth right there. The lips. Again, there's the lips, there's the whiskers, there's the lion nose, there's the lion eye, and here's the lion's head. Now, you come over here. If you look in here, you can see objects that I'm actually describing to you. Here, this tail over here. Look at how you can see faces. Oh, hold on. I'm not over far enough for you. Hold on. I got to get the tail over there included. Look how this is a full figure now, looking like a standing man. Look at this. Again, I got to come back to this again. And I just turned it on a different angle. Here's the feet area. Here's the body area around the mid waist. There's the elbow coming in, folded. The hands are folded over each other in the front. Coming across his chest right here. His beard is right there. There's his face. He has on a turban. And when he go up into his turban, there's a woman right there. The face of a woman at the top of his turban, which is right here. There's a woman's face. The body of a man. His hands clasped in front of him. There's his face. There's his turban there. And then there's a woman in the turban, showing us man and woman right here in this figure. But wait, because it transforms into something else. This is a multi-dimensional image. Then we have our lion right there. The lion's eye is at the point of my arrow right there. The lion's nose, telltale nose, that triangular nose right there, shows the lion's whiskers right here. There's a lion's lips and mouth. There's a lion's head right here. We come over here. This appears to be some sort of creature with a tail. And at the tail of this creature, there is a being, a head of a being right there. I can see it clearly. But I'm going to take you to the next image, which is actually of a different angle, which actually transforms this thing, this image, this entire rock into a dimensional portal, which allows for you to see in. I'm going to show you a different angle. And this is what is so unique about our ancestors' art. Our ancestors were reptiles, were reptilians. They had a reptilian sense of vision, a reptilian sense of mind, meaning that the art that they created was not encrypted work. They created from a natural stance. A natural stance, meaning that they had multi-double vision ability, which calls for their hands to craft artwork which could be realized from each and every angle that you looked at it. Meaning from all points of view, even upside down, it creates another different angle. Another different image that can be realized. Another creation. This is the way they done it. Now, I'm going to take you to the next image. If my arrow come up here. Alrighty, where we at? Come on, there you go. Here you see, this is the same exact image, except fact you see some people kayaking here, and it seems to be a much broader resolution. Alright, I'm going to draw your attention to that rock where I said it looks like some type of sort of sea creature here. You see that right there? Can you see? Let me see where we're at. Make sure I got you at the right angle so you can see that. I don't want you to. I don't know what this video is going to be until I actually play it back when I upload it. Let me take it back off some and see what. I guess I can come in some. I'm going to give you a clear picture of everything. When I'm looking backwards, I see a face. Where is that face at? I see a face right there. Okay, check this out. This creature has a mouth and it has teeth. It looks like a piranha right here. That's what that looks like. The tail and the head of a piranha. But however, the piranha actually has the head of a male figure, of a human figure. It's a fish with piranha teeth, and actually showing you how fish, this creature, emerged onto land into becoming that of mankind. And the story is actually told right here in these rocks. Now, I'm going to call your attention to something. Notice that, you know that dinosaur and man, actually man evolved through dinosaur. We all know that horses and the types of duck-billed dinosaurs and that sort of horse are all, when described, are all an evolution of a creature which evolved from the original state of the dinosaur. So you notice that in all Renaissance art coming forward, and there's always this asphyxiation with horses. Coming through George Washington, all of these paintings, you see that they have these images of these horses, these animals, these dogs, these sheep, and all of that. People, these are all description of these ancient creatures from which calls for our existence and genetic manipulation and bridging. And they're not describing those specific creatures, but however, the creatures that they evolved from, these genes that actually evolved through. And that's why you see that such a high symbolization, such a value placed on these animals when described in either holy texts, ancient texts, or all throughout history in these paintings and in these ancient texts and writings and in these drawings, that these animals appear. Because these animals contributed genetically to who we became today. I always like to say that dinosaurs never went extinct. Dinosaurs evolved into a very sophisticated being, intelligent being, which is that of mankind. So we are those dinosaurs. We never went extinct. All right, I'm going to take you right here. I don't know if I should use this. Here's my arrow here. Notice that right there, that there's an eye. That there, people, is the eye of what I'm describing as a duck-billed dinosaur in the form of a horse likeness. The entire head, here's the neckline there, the head of a horse. There's his mouth, dipping his head into a shell like right here. And guess what's in that on that shell right here? It's a cracked shell. It's an egg. It's a shell right there. It's cracked. And the horse is drinking from that egg. That cracked eggshell. You know what's there, people? There's a black child right there. There's a child's arm bent up. There's a child's face. There's a child's eye. The entire face, I'm going to come in closer, of a child. It is showing you that the birth of black children came from the ocean. Let me show you. And children were taken from the ocean by dinosaur. All right, let me show you where we're at with what I'm describing here. I guess I have to come to this other side. Right there. There's a head. The child is wearing like a bonnet over his head. Over her head, there's a child's eyes, there's a child's face, there's a child's mouth. Here's the child's arm folded over right there. The child is in a seashell, a shell-like. And then you see the horse's head dipping down, a duck-billed dinosaur dipping down, showing you that there was a bridge created from that of the ocean onto land. Look at this child right here. This is amazing right there. And this is all in carvings etched into this rock. Now I have some more highlights, so I'm going to keep going. Again, this is Mexico, people. This is Mexico. Now, I have some highlights here. I'm going to come back to that other side because I can get a better view. You notice I have the head of the horse highlighted. Again, there's the child right there. You notice that old way of how babies used to look coming from the hospital, or the ancient look of the babies. They were all dressed in white, had their heads covered, the girls all in white, and had on that clothing, that baby clothing with the bonnets on their head, those little covers across their head. That's exactly what this is right here of this black child, which is right there. Okay, and in a shell. You know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? Literally, the painting, that famous painting, which is controversial, which is by Botticelli, which is The Birth of Venus, where you have Venus coming in from the water on that shell. That's what this is describing pretty much right there. However, in original form. Here, on this side, we have a queen showing you that she's morphing. Here's the head of a lion wearing a crown. A queen that actually, I'm going to see if I can come in closer. A queen that actually has a lion's face. I'm in here kind of close now. You can possibly see it because I'm in all the way in close. In fact, I can come in closer by just sliding this up. There's a queen. Here's the lion on the queen's shoulder right here. The tooth, the lion's head. There's a lion's wearing a crown. Here's a queen right here. Her dress, her lion face, and she also has a crown right there. And in her left hand coming around from the lion is a sword right there. There's a sword going up. And behind her is another queen with a monkey's face. And it appears to be that of a black person, almost in the image of an ape, showing you that there was a genetic bridge from that of the ocean. Up here higher, which I don't know if you can see, I don't know if I have to back out, is a black woman, and she's wearing a crown, and she's in an insignia on the rock here, which is some type of a form. It almost looks like to me like some type of DNA pattern, a symbolization of a DNA pattern, which is utilized today. But there is a face of a black woman, black hair, and she's wearing a crown, which is right there. This might be too close. I don't know if I'm blodging this out here, but there is. And again, people, you can see these images on my Google Plus, on my Facebook page. Also up here on the side of the horse, on the horse's neck, you can see here that I have, there's a king-like figure with a strange looking crown with the ball on the top of it right there. And he's flanked by a dinosaur, and this is all at the neck of the horse here, at the throat area of the horse, on the side of the neck area of that extended duckbill dinosaur. And this figure here has a beard and a mustache, and he's flanked on this side by a dinosaur, and on this side by an ape. So here we have a figure of a dinosaur and that of an ape right here, and then this duckbill dinosaur going down into that shell, and there is a black child there. All right, now I'm going to go on to another picture. Yeah, because you can see that black child right there. All right, now I'm going to go on to another picture. Now, and again, people, you can Google this image. I'm going pretty slow here so you can see everything that I have, because it's going to get even more crazier yet. All right, now I might have to back off. Here, in that horse's nose, or that duckbill dinosaur nose, on the bridge of the nose is a black woman in black garb. She has almost like a boomerang crown here and jewels in the top of it. Her black hair comes down, and then there's I put her robe as being black, and I highlighted as being black to accent her presence on the horses, on this duckbill dinosaur's nose right here. Now, this is all morphing the image of the nose of this duckbill dinosaur. Now she has some strange looking creature that looks like a cross between a horse, a dinosaur, and a dog right here. It's a cross between all breeds of those animals, almost like a dragon dog / horse type figure with this black woman. And again, here's the baby. Now this baby's body, in this highlight, you can actually see faces and everything down here, actually, because I'm seeing a face right here. But you can see this is like an old woman's face right here, looking dead at you, in that bonnet of the baby's hair right here. But the baby's face is right up higher right there. Now, the baby's wardrobe, however, has another face in it. Now check this out. The baby's body coming down to its waistline, there is a figure of an ape. Coming from the ape, and there's like a strand, a gene strand coming from the ape's face out into the baby's lower body is that of a lion wearing a crown. Again, there's a lion, an ape, and then there's a black child, a baby right there. All of this is right there. All right. Now, I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see this. I don't want to keep moving it to lose resolution. Again, all of these multi-dimensional images, and as you can see, I gave this creature over here its teeth. A piranha fish with got multi-dimensional heads on it. There's a horn, there's a shell, its tail On its tail, there's another black person, a black female, on its tail. Okay, right there. There's the chin, the mouth, the eye, all of that I can bring in so you can take a closer look at that. The face of another black being right there. The tail of this creature, this is a tail I'm suggesting coming around, and it shows you what was created from these creatures, and it's showing you what was delivered onto land. And then you have all of these other black creatures, beings, which evolved from out of into blackness, but was first reptiles. Now, remember I told you this looking like DNA up here? Where we at here? I don't know if you're going to be able to see this because I'm getting a glare on this side here. But there's a black woman's face in the middle of this, like a lotus flower or some form of design, or I couldn't even call it a matrix, but something it's a design that is very unusual, and maybe someone would recognize it. But at the center of that is the face of a black woman. Here's another face of a black woman right there wearing a crown. They're all wearing crowns, by the way, people. Her, and her. And look, there's a black woman with this beast right here at Bridget and Horse. Then there's a head of a black woman there, a head of a black woman here, a head of a black woman here on the fish. Okay, right there with the fish there. And then there's a black child, a baby, showing you that there was bridge, that black babies were born from the ocean through the dinosaur, which is described right here. There's so much here to be realized. All right, I'm gonna pull away from this image because I'm sure that I have. See if I have any more. Okay, I'm back at that same one with the black child again. That's to give you. All right. Again, this black child is going sideways. This is the back. There's the head. Here's the child arm bent around. The child's arm comes around and goes under its neck. Like if it's resting, the child is resting its chin on its hand. And now I'm going to take the opportunity to bring that in closer for you. And again, people, this is not nothing that I'm making up or doing. This is all you have to do is Google the image. This is a genuine rock image. This is not no cutting paste. This is not no pick art or no nothing like that there. This is not no mirroring technique. These are straight up images of beings, multi-dimensional beings, which now that I open the door of realization for you to realize, you will be able to see for yourself, because I'm asserting that every sea stack that has this ancient appearance to it, that are on these ancient locations, can be read through the dimension, through this dimension, this dimensional window in which I'm describing right here, if you know what you're looking for. There's the little girl. Notice that her hand, this is her arm, her forearm, and there's her hand underneath her chin, and there's her face right there. You see all of that, people? I'll use my arrowhead to point this here, my point. There's her forearm, the butt of her forearm, that's her elbow, her forearm, there's her hand, there's her chin, there's her mouth, there's her nose, and there's her eye, there's her forehead with a little bit of hair coming out from underneath this head bonnet or whatever she's wearing there, and her clothing, all of her clothing coming down here. And again, you see people here paddling. If I back out, of course, you'll be able to see people paddling. I got it all the way up right there. You see people paddling past this. You know, you would never know that it's there. There are carvings all over this rock. There's a head. Let me show you another head right here that's looking at you. There's a head and face right here that's looking at you right there. I'll circle it with my other point. I'm at the chin of it now. There's the mouth, there's the nose, there's the right eye, there's the left eye, and it's wearing some type of form of headwear right here. There's another head. Carvings all on this rock in a multi-dimensional state, which shows how these beings evolved from out of the ocean of our planet. All right, let me see what else I have here for you. And I believe that was it. I believe that was it. I believe that was it. All right. Again, I'll go back to this image here to say that to sum everything up. Again, here is an image of a queen. She has a lion face, lion mane. On her elbow is a lion, showing you that she was genetically bridged between, look, there's a lion here and an ape-like figure here. The same thing. Now this is where this gets to be consistent, people. Because here, look, notice that every being that I'm showing you here is flanked by two beings. Okay? And each one of these beings is an ape or either a lion or either a dinosaur. This queen here is showing you that she was changed, genetically altered. And she's showing you what she was genetically altered by the lion from the state of the monkey. She was bridged between the lion and the monkey. And it altered and created a new gene, a new breed of human. And she's showing you that she's like this lioness being genetically. And this is what this image is all about. Now, it's amazing because you know the royal seal, on the royal seals today, all you see is lions. Lions and dragons, unicorns. Look, lions, dragons, and unicorns. Look, and here we have a duckbill dinosaur that's missing just his unicorn. And then you have this queen with this sword going over towards the horse, and her other hand is up like if it's waving. Then over here you have the baby, the black baby, and I showed you at the baby, the base of the baby is an ape, and then a lion, and then you have the duck-billed dinosaur. Then up here you have this king, another figure up here, and you have this similar scenario. You have the head of the ape, you have a dinosaur, and you have this figure up in between, showing you how that these genes emerge from out of the ocean and onto land, and it's showing you how they were created, how we were created. This is why people, that all of these areas, all of these locations, we are drawn to spiritually. There is a connection. There is something that happens. The spirits of these locations, it thrives in us. The information behind all of this is in the very air that we breathe. The existences of these beings are screaming out for you to realize that what was once was and what is to become. You are all brainwashed by religion of the day and science of the day, which all evolved from a sophisticated past, where some of this information is known, but nothing of this level is known. Because if they knew that this exists, people, this would have been destroyed with all of the other artifacts which were destroyed, like in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and all of them locations. You notice that how each and every location of these, where these artifacts is, when mankind's come closer and closer to realizing who he is, it's destroyed. Or if it's found, like in the Valley of the Kings, where you have the tombs, where you have all of these drawings on the wall, where you have green monkeys and these alien looking creatures, it gets explained away just like that. Oh, aliens must have came in and created us. Or no, these were the deities, or they didn't have no significance. People that had the brilliance to create such structures and such artwork, they downplay them, stupid play them, that make them sound like they were stupid, didn't know what they were doing. But yet here you have me today unearthing a whole new avenue, opening up a brand new door, showing us who we are and where we came from and how we were truly created, and the connections now can be made. With that, people, I'm going to end this video. My name is Gerone Wright. Thank you for your view.